Welcome back to the CryptoFather channel. Today is the 28th of July. I think this week's biggest new piece of news is the sale of Satoshi era Bitcoin. About 80,000 of Bitcoin, 80,000 Bitcoin from the Satoshi era have been sold, which caused a bit of a retracement, a bit of a downturn in the crypto market, which was a bit scary because people didn't know what to expect, and there's a lot of speculation on what happened precisely and why that was sold and this and that and the other. But basically, Galaxy completed the sale of more than 80,000 Bitcoin valued at over $9 billion based on current market prices for a Satoshi era investor, representing one of the earliest and most significant exits from the digital asset market. The transaction was part of the investor's broader estate planning strategy. Who knows what it was, but basically, in my view, $9 billion is a lot of money. Why wouldn't you want to exit? Now is just a good time as any other time. Exit now, use that money to live life. Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be looking at everything as usual. We'll look at the coin market cap prices or price levels. We'll look at charts and then a bunch of articles related to the crypto world. So make sure to smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, and stick around till the very end so you don't miss anything. Also, remember to pick up a copy of Crypto and Millennials. It's $11 on sale. This book provides you with a lot of information about crypto and crypto-related stuff. It's available on Kindle right now. You can pre-order it. It's going to be available in September, or you can pre-order it right now. Or say, buy it and send it to somebody who you think needs to read it, because this book is jam-packed with information which I wish I had when I first started getting into crypto in 2017. That would have made the journey a lot more exciting. Anyway, we're at $4 trillion. Wow. I still can scroll down through my video feeds, through my video uploads, and find the video in which I was talking about the crypto market cap going up to $1 trillion. Man, I remember. And this was when the market cap was like 500 billion market cap dollars. It was just ridiculous. Anyway, $122 billion in trading volume. That slowed down a little bit. Bitcoin is at $118,000. It was pushing for that 120. I guess we're having a bit of a retracement right now. Ethereum is doing very well. $3,800 for Ethereum. BNB is well above 800. Nice pump on BNB. Solana looking green here, but still below $200. Cardano at 82 cents. Sui $4, Toncoin below $4, still Litecoin at $113. I think Litecoin, no, it didn't reach 120 just yet. A quick look at Meowcoin, because that's what we always do. Meowcoin is up 10% at $566,000 market cap and quadruple 074. Looking at the Bitcoin charts, Bitcoin is trading well above the upward moving channel on the daily. It presently broke above the resistance of the 05 Fibonacci retracement that I drew just recently, which was drawn from the bottom here on April up to the top, and then created by following this bottom here. So it's right now sitting at this support. It turned it into a support and created a channel between 123,000 and 117,000. So not much has changed. 121,000, not 123. Not much has changed. Really, it's still trending alongside this channel that it created for itself. Ethereum is above the 3 resistance lines, now turned support, and we should see Ethereum continue its upward push towards $4,000. The altcoin total market cap for altcoin has reached, no, not yet, hasn't reached the all-time high of 160 or $1.6 trillion. It did tap the $1.5 trillion, which was the second top in January of this year. So it reached that same high, retraced a little bit down to the $1.4 trillion level on the Fibonacci, and right now it's pushing back up to that level again. The market cap for crypto stable coins is presently sitting at $272 billion. I heard somebody mention that the market cap for Bitcoin is usually 3 to 12 times larger than that of stable coins. And since the market cap for stable coins might just be about to pump, we could definitely see another massive pump for Bitcoin as well. Now, of course, this is just, analysis by one single individual, but something to keep in mind. So one of the biggest stories of this week basically is one of the biggest Satoshi era Bitcoin investors cashing out 9 billion reignites questions about OGs losing confidence. And I'm not sure if that necessarily is the FOMO that we all need. I think, my personal opinion, 14 years of holding Bitcoin for a price tag of 9.3 billion. I mean, that's a lot of money. That's a lot you could do with this money. If who knows? We don't know who this whale is, who had the conviction of holding Bitcoin, 80,000 Bitcoin for this long and without selling it. And $9.3 billion is a lot of money for an average Joe or for any investor. Institutional crypto company Galaxy announced Friday that it had liquidated a historic 80,000 Bitcoin worth around 9.3 billion at the time for Satoshi era Bitcoin investor. The massive exit prompted prominent crypto analyst Scott Melker to suggest that some early whales are losing faith in Bitcoin, sparking a heated debate on the X social media platform. Yeah, there are a lot of speculations, and the negative ones are just as likely as the positive ones, but really they're all speculations in any case. OG Whale cashes out 9 billion Bitcoin. Galaxy said in the Friday statement that the sale was one of the largest national Bitcoin transactions in the history of crypto on behalf of a client. The firm noted that the sale represents one of the earliest and most significant exits from the digital asset market. Transaction was part of the investor's broader estate planning strategy. For some commentators, it represented a natural redistribution. For others, it was a worrisome sign that even Bitcoin's earliest believers are exiting. Something like that could shake up the market or raise confidence in Bitcoin, announcing that, hey, $9 billion is well enough for me. Bitcoin has now fully recovered from the sale. However, a 9 billion market dump of 80,000 Bitcoin last week by a Bitcoin whale who bought 14 years ago. So on the sale, the market dumped, but we've recovered by now. So all is good in paradise again. Ghost of my Bitcoin hack Galaxy brokered whale sale stirs Satoshi era theories. The sale not only brought markets down, not to its knees, but a bit of retracement, but it also reignited speculation about the origins of these coins, with some analysis linking them to the infamous 2015 My Bitcoin exchange hack. The sale executed between July 18th and July 25th, 2025 involved Bitcoin that had remained untouched since the early days of the cryptocurrency, prompting discussions about its potential ties to early Bitcoin era activities. The sale was conducted through Galaxy Digital, a prominent cryptocurrency investment firm which acted as an intermediary for the investor's estate planning purposes. The transaction was meticulously executed, with each recipient address receiving a single Satoshi, a symbolic gesture that has captured the attention of blockchain analysts. On-chain analysis has traced the origins of the sold Bitcoin to wallets associated with the now defunct My Bitcoin platform, which was compromised in a significant hack in 2011. These findings have led some experts to speculate that the coins involved in the sale may have been stolen during the hack and subsequently held in cold storage for over a decade. While Galaxy Digital has confirmed the sale, the firm's spokesperson declined to comment on the specific origin of the Bitcoin involved. Quite possibly due to the fact that all this Bitcoin is being sold, and while all of it was being sold, the market didn't really take that big of a hit. There was a bit of a dip, but it recovered, and Bitcoin remained sitting at $117,000 without, it dipped to 114,000, but then it recovered, and it was, we're sitting comfortably at $118,000 right now price levels. So analysts predict Bitcoin bull market will last another 14 months, unveil short and long-term Bitcoin price targets. I'd be very, very careful about this. This is the second time that I hear this prolonged time frame for the bull market. I heard somebody else talking about, I mean, there's no number of people saying that the bull market will go into 2026. But again, I'd be very, very careful because this is a similar rhetoric that was spewed back in the last bull run when people were talking about a $200,000 Bitcoin, which never solidified. Bitcoin broke down at 69,000, and that's all she wrote. It collapsed and the market went to shit. And anybody who thought Bitcoin would go to 200,000 got stuck with their bags. And yes, institutions are in now, but I'd be very, very careful. And personally, I will be very careful about believing that the bull market will go on into 2026 and another 14 months. According to the analysts, Bitcoin tends to rally hard when the business cycle begins a new uptrend, while the copper to gold ratio, or risk appetite indicator, bottoms out. So he's basing this on real world assets and how they're doing. According to him, there is a Bitcoin cycle, but it's not what people think. It mirrors the business cycle. Bitcoin tops when the business cycle tops. Bitcoin goes parabolic when the business cycle inflects. Bitcoin is always topped 14 months after the inflection. That's what he says apparently. So we've got the time frames right here. We've got 2013 or 2012 inflection 14 months, inflection 14 months here as well. And so we're right here is what he's saying, and that's supposed to drive another 14 months. As for his price prediction target, TechDev sees Bitcoin hitting 170,000 in the short term to mid-term and about 380 in the long term. Grandiose predictions once more. Be very careful of this because we don't actually know. Nobody knows. The average weekly RSI from the top 50 coins sits at 56. Generally, these levels have at least once hit 85 to 90 on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and sometimes higher on alts when we're hit a cycle top. Obviously, the market has matured, so we might not get the crazy blow-off tops as previous cycles. But even though something like ETH has run up a lot in the short term and might need to cool off locally, the higher end time frame still shows plenty of room for continuation. A lot of assets are hitting the highs here. You've got Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, SUI. Pangu has overheated, MicroStrategy here. So I guess expectation is that a lot of these tokens might see some retracement. Trump is way down here. Nobody really cares anymore, unfortunately. For some, for those who are invested. Will Ethereum continue to rally? This Bitcoin OG is bullish on ETH. Jeff Gorzik, an early Bitcoin developer, said he has a super long term view on Ethereum and is bullish on it. Ethereum will continue to exist as a major project in Web3 world. I think that goes without saying. You know, anybody saying that Bitcoin, that Ethereum will disappear simply doesn't understand what's happening, I think. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Ethereum is the second cryptocurrency. It is basically the reason why smart contracts exist right now. Giving another time frame, another parallel universe, maybe would not have been Ethereum, would have been some other cryptocurrency. But in the world we live in, Ethereum is what it is, and is that gave us, in the crypto world, gave us smart contracts and the plethora of tokens and coins that have been developed on top of Ethereum, as well as, you know, spawning another development of other Ethereum-like blockchains, usually called Ethereum killers, which so far have not really managed to do the job very well. They're like poor assassins getting kicked in the face. ETH's price soared to 3,800 this week, with the token's value jumping 60%. I'm not bearish on Ethereum because everybody is building on EVM. And another reason why he probably sees Ethereum thriving is that there's a spate of Ethereum companies. Like, the number of Ethereum treasury companies popping up left and right is equates to those of Bitcoin. Not only that, Ethereum spot ETFs dwarf Bitcoin with 1.85 billion inflows. Utility season is in full swing, so there's a lot of money flowing into the Ethereum ETFs, which is massive. And whatever the reason, I assume that partially it is the fact that the Ethereum's price tag has been so low for so long, and I mean, people are seeing possibilities right here. So when enough people get together and start pushing, start adopting, then this is what you're going to see, and this is probably what's happening. There's a massive potential for Ethereum, for massive gains, and so this is what people are seeing because the Bitcoin price tag is just, it's sky high. So a lot more gains to be made on Ethereum with a price tag of below $4,000 than there are on Bitcoin. According to figures shared by Value, Ethereum spot ETFs attracted an eye-popping 1.85 billion in net inflows during the week ending July 25th. In stark contrast, Bitcoin ETFs drew just 72.06 million in the same period. Next, MSTR. Are Ethereum DATs the smartest crypto equity play yet? MSTR beat Bitcoin 4 times using equity and premium-based funding. ETH DATs aim to copy that model with DeFi yield. Investors get ETH exposure plus DeFi income. NAV premiums boost returns but add dilution risk, and entry timing and structure matter for gains. So you've got public companies piling in. MicroStrategy is right now the largest corporate Bitcoin holder. And in the meantime, you've got digital asset treasury firms emerging that are focusing on Ethereum more so than on Bitcoin. In 2025 alone, Sharpling Gaming, Bit Digital, and Bitmine Immersion have raised hundreds of millions to build corporate ETH treasuries. For example, Sharplink SBIT announced a 425 million PIPE on May 27 to buy Ether. Bit Digital raised 172 million. Each move sent the stock sharply higher, raising the question of whether ETH data digital asset treasury companies may be the next big crypto equity story. Ethereum 51% up in 30 days. Will social euphoria trigger a correction? That's the fear, because we've got Ethereum pumping, although I gotta say, on looking at the charts, it's not pumping that hard. Whereas Ethereum, I mean, yeah, we did have a nice massive pump right here, basically go up. And so this might be as time for recovery. We could see a recovery, but I don't think just yet, because we haven't even broken the all-time high. So I think Ethereum could hit the all-time high. Depending on the time frame, we could see a retracement all the way back to $2,400. Most likely not. Maybe about 3,000 or so. We could see a recovery of Ethereum going all the way down to 3,100. That could be a possibility. But I think once we break above the all-time high for Ethereum, we're going to see Ethereum continue pushing upwards as more companies begin to pile in on Ethereum, because it's going to, like this article says, create a social euphoria, and it's going to be retail as well as companies. Some of these digital asset, what are they? DATs, digital asset treasuries might be piling in order to create more treasuries, Ethereum treasuries, because it's the new kid on the block. Everybody wants a cut of it, right? Ethereum ETFs outshine Bitcoin. ETH eyeing $5,000. Here's what needs to happen. Ethereum ETFs have officially flipped Bitcoin ETFs in inflows. For 6 straight days, they pulled $2.4 billion. That is massive. And Michael Saylor's strategy IPO tops US charts with 2.5 billion raise. My goodness. So basically, his Ponzi scheme is working out very well. He's collecting money, selling a 5th stock of his company, 5th reproduced stock of his company, just so he can collect more money to buy more Bitcoin. It's so bizarre. Satoshi, right now, MicroStrategy is holding 607,000 Bitcoin, worth about $55 billion. Not too shabby there, Sailor. Ethereum 2025 mirrors 2017 breakout, but with Wall Street fueling the surge. Ethereum's 2017 structure pointing to 2 key signals now flashing bullish again: a reclaim of the 50-week moving average and a breakout from a multi-month consolidation range. Both events preceded one of Ethereum's most explosive runs 8 years ago. 2017 was right here. 2025 is right here. We could see Ethereum pump like mad, go all the way to $6,000. 2017, it was $12.50. Oh, the good old times. Here's something interesting that's happening right now. No bank, no problem. 30,000 crypto loans issued with just an eye scan. A new wave of crypto microfinance is quietly spreading beyond the reach of traditional banks. At the heart of it is the Divine Research, a San Francisco-based startup that has issued tens of thousands of uncollateralized loans, mostly under $1,000 in USDC, to borrowers across underserved regions since late 2024. What makes Divine unique is its reliance on biometric verification using World ID, the iris scanning tech from OpenAI Sam Altman. The platform ensures each borrower is unique individual, effectively blocking repeat defaults under fake identities. We're lending to ordinary people, vendors, teachers, gig workers, said founder. Interest rates ranging from 20 to 30%. Divine absorbs a roughly 40% default rate on first loans. Part of the loss is offset by reclaimable WorldCoin tokens granted to borrowers. Holy cow, 20 to 30%. Not too shabby. And according to some of on-chain analytics, the Bitcoin rally may just be getting started. Since 2023, Bitcoin has made a steady recovery over gaining strength after breaking key technical levels. Now, with Bitcoin approaching a range historical associated with previous bull market tops, all eyes are on whether it can sustain its momentum. Obviously, there's still time until we've got July, August, September, October, November. We've got 4 or 5 months almost, I think, November, December, but that's going to be it. Will there be another pullback? Quite possibly. Maybe not a major one, but there will be retracements. So you've got to stay sharp. You've got to keep an eye on your stash and make sure that you leave with profits. Before you do though, before you leave, make sure to smash the likes on this video, subscribe to the channel, and of course pick up a Descent wallet. The ref links for discounts are below the video. $30 discounts, $99 discounts, and of course don't forget to pick up your very own copy of the Crypto and Millennials book, available in September but ready for pickup right now. So get it done, educate yourself, send it to somebody who needs it. Have a fantastic Monday. See you tomorrow. Peace.